The Robert Sorby 200KT or multi-tip hollowing tool is one of the safest and most flexible multiple use tools available today. By fitting interchangeable cutting tips, the tool can be used as a standard scraper for both internal and external work, as a shear scraper and as a superb hollowing system. 3 cutters are supplied with the tool initially. There are also a range of additional cutters that are available as optional extras. The first one we'll have a look at is this multi-faced scraper blade. This can be fixed onto the tool shaft to provide a half round, square or shallow curve scraper. For use as a traditional scraper, use the tool with the large flat section of the blade facing down onto the tool rest. The tool rest is placed higher than centre and the tool trailed down to cut on to centre height. This combination provides a large support area whilst only a small section of the tip is cutting. This improves stability and control. This style of scraping can be utilised with both end grain projects and cross grain or bowl work. One drawback with standard scraping is that with softer woods, areas of grain can be caused to lift up or rip, leading to a poor quality finish. This can be minimised by using the tool in a slightly different manner to produce shear scraping. Shear scraping is created by holding the tool so that the cutting edge is presented to the work at an angle. 45 degrees would be a sensible starting point, and we've marked the centre line of the wood and a suggested line to hold the cutting tip against. Later we'll see that this angle can be altered to allow the tool to take a heavier or finer cut. By shear cutting, the fibres of the wood are being peeled away rather than being ripped out. The cutter blade has a 90-degree bevel on its front edge, and by rubbing this against the work we can increase the surface finish by allowing the bevel to support the cutting point and burnish the wood. This type of scraping is almost always used as a finishing technique rather than as a method of bulk waste removal. By altering this angle, turning the tip out clockwise beyond 45 degrees, we allow a greater area of the cutting edge to come into contact with the work. This produces a heavier cut, but if too heavy a cut is taken, it can lead to vibration and chattering, as we can hear now. The more the piece is extended away from the headstock of the lathe and the thinner the section of work, the more likely this is to happen. These shavings are the result of these heavier cuts. Conversely, by backing the tool off, turning the tool anti-clockwise to reduce the amount of cutter used, we can create a finer cut with the tool now presented at an angle much less than 45 degrees. By using less of the cutter, the shavings produced now are much finer. This pole has some ridging and tool marks that shear scraping can quickly improve. On the exterior of this bowl we would use the flat or square face of the blade. Several passes may be needed to remove any tool marks, but this shows that the finish created by shear scraping can be worth the effort. For the interior we have marked in pencil the centre line of the wood and the centre line of the tool. This allows us to see that the tool is used with the rest set to a height that allows the centre of the tool to cut onto the centre line of the work. Once again, we may need to take more than one pass and can adjust the cutter angle to provide a heavier or lighter finishing cut. Before moving on to the hollowing cutters supplied with this tool, let's have a look at one easy method of sharpening this scraper blade. If the cutter is in reasonable condition, it can be topped up by using a diamond file to hone across the cutter face. This is a medium or 40 micron diamond file and is being used with water as a lubricant. Everything we've looked at so far is supplied as standard with this tool.